If you want to be the best, you got to beat the best, and the best is blessed, baby.
All right, gentlemen, we've been over the rules. Protect yourself at all times. Follow my instructions. Keep it clean. Touch gloves if you wish. Let's do it.
Hosted by Zay Bonez, the MMA Brotherz.
Oh, what's good? What's good?
Yo, what's up, bro?
Not much, man. Another Friday, 2024 is here, and we are here.
You already know for the MMA awards, end of the year awards. I'm ready.
2023 MMA awards. I'm kind of hyped about this show. Kind of interested to see what you done picked. I know my picks will be a little more accurate, but it's all good.
Oh no, my picks are all fluid.
So I guess we just gonna get right into it.
Let's go.
Okay, all right, let's do it. So first off, we're gonna start off with the comeback fighter of the year. Comeback fighter of the year is the fighter that made a return to the octagon, overcoming adversity and injuries with determination, resilience, and an impressive display of skill, marking a remarkable comeback story in the world of MMA. Now, my comeback fighter of the year is the one, the only, undefeated this year, Tatiana Suarez. Can't go wrong with that pick. I mean, she overcame a neck surgery, 2 knee surgeries, elbow surgery, came back to the octagon this year after a 3-year layoff, and has went 3-0, finishing every single opponent, including former champion Bakte Estrada, Jessica Andrade. She's done it 3 times in 2 different weight classes this year, and she's undefeated in the octagon. I mean, but we just talking about this year. I feel like for her to come back from the neck surgery and the 2 knee surgeries and the elbow surgery, and then come back on fire, looking better than she was when she left. She was touted as arguably the female Khabib, one of the best fighters at her weight class before she left. Everybody was calling her future champion, which I feel like this will be the second time I would give her this award, because before she battled back from cancer and then just came back and was still on the road. So I don't know. She's like the Terminator. She's just gonna keep coming, and I feel like there can't be a better pick for comeback fighter of the year, overcoming all the injuries that she overcame, getting 3 finishes in a row.
Yeah, there is a better pick than her, but I ain't gonna lie, that is a good pick, and I can't shit on it. But it was a good pick. But I got a better one now.
Nah, you don't.
Oh yeah, for my comeback fighter of the year, I picked the one and only. You already know. Tommy Aspinall, baby. He is the current. Hey, listen, he is the current UFC champion. So therefore, you can't beat that. And when he lost against Curtis Blade, well, technically it wasn't a loss, but he tore his ACL, MCL.
No, technically it was a loss.
Okay, well, technically it was a loss, but he tore his Achilles, ACL, MCL, and then he came back, and nobody expected this because John Jones was supposed to fight Stipe, and then inserted, Tommy Aspinall into the fight because Jones got injured. Stipe didn't want to fight, and not to mention who he beat too, because he fought a monster. You know what I'm saying? And Sergey Pavlovich, you feel me? And he was on a 4-fight win streak with all 4 finishes in the first round in the heavyweight division. And he starts him in the first round. So that was very, very impressive.
You want to hear something ironic?
What's up?
And Trevor will tell you that was my original pick, Tom Aspinall. But then I was like, nah, I'm going to give it Tatiana because I feel like she overcame more and her layoff was longer and she performed 3 times. True enough, he only had 1 fight this year, but in that 1 fight, he knocked out.
Whoa. He had 2 fights. Marcin Tybura. Yeah.
He had 2 contests in 1 fight. Put it out.
No, but that just speaks to his skill, though. You feel me? Because he destroyed both. Hey, listen, and plus in the Marcin Tybura fight, his footwork and how smooth he was, you know what I'm saying? And I'm real proud of him too. And I think that he's a legit heavyweight champion too. I don't think he's gonna be one and done like Cyril Gane.
I mean, but it depends on. I mean, we'll see. But yeah, I can't argue with your pick at all. Because, I mean, I almost picked him, but I thought of one better, so that's why I did.
Yeah. He's the current heavyweight champion.
You know why Tatiana Suarez is not champ?
Why?
Because they don't want to take the belt off of China.
They need to do that China versus China match in China, man. I don't know what they're waiting for.
Yeah, but good pick, though. Good pick.
All right.
Mine was better, though, but still. Okay, next up, we have the Breakout Fighter of the Year. Breakout Fighter of the Year is the fighter who burst onto the scene, showcasing exceptional skill, resilience, and relentless fighting spirit that captured the heart of fans and propelled them to meteoric success in the world of MMA.
All right, so for me, my Breakout Fighter of the Year, I'm ready for it, is Bo Nickel. And for me, this was a tough choice. It only came down to 2 people. There can only be 2 people in this category. But for me, I picked Bo Nickel because he came on real hot on the scene. And plus, if you look at his last fight against Trajan Gore, that was very, very surprising the way he knocked him out, in the first round.
No, it was Val Woodburn.
Val Woodburn. And he got very, very tremendous uprise and potential. He will be fighting at UFC 300, so interested to see what happens.
Yeah,
I want to see who your pick is before I see who my other person should have been.
Yeah, me too. I thought of a couple of people for this award, and I thought about Bo Nickel as well, so I can't argue with you there. That's definitely a good pick. Solid the way he did Val Woodburn being a wrestler and to knock him out on the feet. That was pretty impressive. He's finished all of his fights so far. Definitely burst onto the scene and been kind of cleaning the house. So yeah, that's a good pick, valuable pick. I give you that one. For me though, my breakout fighter of the year is none other than Ilya Topuria.
Why you did that to me? Oh my goodness.
Ilya Topuria is a monster. About 2 years ago, not many people knew who he was. Towards the end of 2022, he knocked out Jai Herbert, sending him to the shadow realm. So
nasty.
So and ever since then, he destroyed Josh Emmett. He destroyed Bryce Mitchell. Oh my God, Bryce Mitchell. And now he is on the way to a title shot. So I feel like the fact that his next fight is for the title, and he should have fought for the title last year, but your boy Volk took that short notice fight against Islam. I feel like if he didn't, then that fight would have happened last year. So the fact that he's definitely on the way to a championship fight and it's in the books, I chose Ilia Topuria as my breakout fighter of the year. Now, my other two considerations were Bo Nickel and Diego Lopez.
Oh man, we got one down there. All right, listen, for this is crazy because this is my guy. This is like your version of JDM, whatever. I've been riding with him since day one. And I did put him in there, but I took him out and I changed it. But I figured because he is getting a title shot, I didn't want to consider him to be a breakout fighter. But my other person would have been Benoit Saint Denis.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah. It was only Benoit Saint Denis and Bo Nickel for me. That's it.
Hey,
what's up?
So if I would have picked Brendan Allen, what you would have said?
Brendan Allen? No.
Yeah. No. No. Why not?
Brendan Allen?
Yeah, all in.
Oh yeah. I was thinking, but yeah, actually that would be a good one too. Yeah, that would be a good one.
And that's what I was saying. Like, after I made my picks, I'm thinking like, dang, I should have dove a little deeper. And part of it was because I knew you wouldn't have saw that one coming.
Yeah, you got me with that one.
But at the same time, I just kept it what it is because that's not what it's about. It's about giving the award to But he's definitely a good pick for breakout fighter of the year. I feel like the only difference is Topuria is getting ready to get a title shot.
Yeah,
and he literally pretty much came out of nowhere. If you're not like a hardcore, you get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So what we got next? Our next category is upset of the year. This is going to be a good one. The upset of the year saw an underdog fighter defy the odds and secure a victory over a highly favored opponent, leaving fans and experts shocked of the unexpected outcome. And for me, my upset of the year, and I'm not going to say clearly because there were a couple of things to pick from, but I chose Sean Strickland versus Israel Adesanya. Now, it's only one other fight that I thought about picking, but as far as this one goes, I feel like this was the upset of the year. He destroyed Adesanya for 5 rounds completely. Had him on the back foot. Damn near finished him in the first round. Nobody saw that coming. He was like one of the biggest underdogs of the year. The crazy thing is he fought Poatan. Poatan knocked him out. Poatan knocked Izzy out. Izzy came back and beat Poatan. And then Strickland comes off of beating Abusna Magomedov and destroys Israel Adesanya. I mean, destroyed him. And yeah, I mean, it was one of those fights where honestly, sometimes you get that feeling like I should put some money on this one because I feel like
you did call it. You did call it.
I called this one, and so because I called it, I started not to pick this as upset of the year because I felt like I saw it coming. But I feel like the MMA community in general, fans and experts alike, and as well as other fighters, probably didn't see it coming at all. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. I mean, as you can see, I agree with you, and I picked the same thing.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Now,
at first, I was going to pick Grasso and Shevchenko, but I decided to pick this one.
Go ahead.
This was a real big upset because not only was it an upset, but it created a star.
Yeah.
Sometimes
you almost put him in the category of breakout star of the year.
Yeah, exactly. Because sometimes you get these upsets, but then it's like that fighter, like for example, Pantoja. Technically, that was an upset, but he's not, like nobody's clamoring at the bits to see his next title fight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hence why his next title fight was a co-main event. But Strickland, you guarantee every fight that he's going to be on is going to be a main event. And hence, him and Duplessis, and now ever since he got the belt, I've been seeing him all over IG and doing interviews, and you got this photo of him and this and that, and everybody want to interview with him and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? Outlaw 77 say Izzy's lost hurt.
Izzy's lost hurt. I mean, I don't know. I was happy for Strickland. I was kind of surprised, but I was happy for him because I love seeing the underdog in certain cases come through. And
he deserved it and earned it too.
And I know Strickland's story too. and that kind of made me a fan of him. And then seeing that he's a company man and you never know what the hell is gonna come out of his mouth. I kind of like that about him too. He's in this era where we got all this cancel culture. He don't really give a damn about being canceled. He's just gonna say what's on his mind, love it or hate it, whatever. But I feel like another candidate for upset of the year, and I almost picked this, was Dricus Du Plessis versus Robert Whittaker.
Yeah,
because that's one of those fights that I felt like it was just a formality.
Yep.
So yeah, I guess that's that. Good pick, bro.
Yeah, I was going to say you actually, doing your thing. I'm actually surprised.
Actually doing my thing, as you like you expected otherwise. Okay, so our next category is going to be
card of the year. I want to read this one. The card of the year showcased an electrifying array of MMA excellence, featuring intense matchups, highlight reel finishes, and unforgettable moments that captivated fight fans worldwide.
Now, when you say that, he only talking about one card. If you read that and think about the cards, but go ahead.
All right, so
is this one on me?
I believe it's on me.
Okay.
For me, I picked UFC 295. Oh, let's go! Hey, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay. So we on the same page.
All right. Hey, listen. For this, it was supposed to be Jones versus Miocic, but that didn't fall through. So then you had Yuri versus Poatan elevated to the main event, and then Sergey Pavlovich versus Aspinall as the co-main event. And to me, even though Jones wasn't on the card, this was still a very, very good card. You know what I mean? Because in the co-main event, you had Aspinall. He broke through and he got the heavyweight belt. And then in the main event, you had Poatan. He claimed the light heavyweight belt and made him a two-division champ, So overall, it was just a real good card.
Hey, let me ask you a question. Do you think Jones and Stipe not being on the card actually made it better action-wise?
I mean, I would sound crazy for saying that, but yeah, honestly, in a weird,
you would sound crazy to the uneducated. You feel me? People who would just look at the names like you.
But all right, look, like for me, when you put Yuri and Poatan in the cage together, man, the first of all, the walkout Poatan, is so intense. But I believe Yuri came to the ring first. And then when he got to the ring, he just stared a hole in Poatan, and he just he never took his focus off of him. And that right there just got me so crunk, you know what I mean? And it was just extremely intense because you have two extremely intense fighters. On the undercard, you had Diego Lopez versus Pat Sabatini.
Hold on. I got you. So this is how this fight went, all right? Undercard, early prelim. Dennis Bazooka TKO Jamal Emmers in 49 seconds. No, I'm sorry. Jamal Emmers TKO Dennis Bazooka in 49 seconds.
Crazy.
And you had Joshua Van with a decision over Kevin Borjas, what could have been fight of the night. You had another decision with John Castaneda. And then you had Jared Gordon with the TKO of Mark Madsen in round 1. Okay. And then when you got to the main card, the regular prelims, you had Matalis Rebecki with a round 1 submission over Roosevelt Roberts. Then you had Lupe Godinez in a semi-war. Steve Godinez against Alessandro Costa. And then when you got to this main card, the main card was crazy because Diego Lopez, round 1 TKO. Matt Frivola got TKO'd in round 1 against Benoit Saint Denis. Jessica Andrade knocked out Mackenzie Dern. And you had Sergey Pavlovich getting knocked down in round 1. And then you had Yuri Prochazka getting knocked down in round 2. So the longest fight on the main card was 3 minutes and 13 seconds into the third round with Jessica Andrade. So everything was a knockout on the main card.
And not to mention, I mean, obviously I'm a Florida boy, but this fight took place in New York City, you know what I'm saying, which is like the Mecca, MSG, you know what I mean? So I mean,
say people like Trevor, that's what you really want to say.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But for nostalgic purposes, that means something though, you know what I'm saying? Like they can say, "Oh, we sold out in MSG and we put this on in MSG," you know. So that means something to companies, you know.
Yeah, but on the flip side, you would say the reason why they sold out is because everybody thought Stipe and Jones was going go
Well,
at it.
not I wasn't done. Not only did they sell out, they delivered too. You know what I mean,
Yeah,
to the fans. You know.
they really did, man. They really did.
All right, bro.
Not so bad after all.
Yeah, I think the next one is you first.
Okay, so honorable mention UFC 293 was it? Poirier versus Gaethje.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That was a good one.
I started to put that in there just to troll you.
and UFC 87 in Miami.
Yeah, that was a good one too.
But I didn't want to put that just because I was there. But this card right here definitely delivered. This was definitely the card of the year.
All right, what we got next?
Breakout fighter of the year on there and everything.
Yeah, I know my breakout fighter and another selection I got on there.
Okay, so we might have the same one. For our next category, we have fight of the year. In the thrilling display of skill. Why are you laughing?
Because I already know what you gonna pick.
Yeah, I know you do. Because you know I'm right. But I sounded like Mike for a second. In a thrilling display of skill, heart, and determination, two fighters engaged in an epic battle that captivated the world, earning the title Fight of the Year. And
hey, but wait, before you go, I only want to say it's poetic justice that you go first. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's poetic justice that I go first because I know what the Fight of the Year was. And the Fight of the Year was Moreno versus Pantoja 3, UFC 290, and obviously you knew what the Fight of the Year was too.
Yeah,
because it was the Fight of the Year, and I can't say enough about this fight. As you can see on the still, both men's faces are bloody. Moreno broke his hand in the first or second round. You would never know it. You see them both connecting at the same time. This fight was just two-way action all the way through, a lot of scrambles. How many times you thought Pantoja was done for? Like he was gassed out. He would get the takedown and catch his second win. It's like this fight was all action. Both men get props for their chin, their toughness, their determination, their will, and their gas tanks. Because I don't know, man. This fight is like if you watch it, you don't know how somebody didn't get finished. 25 minutes of just straight action. And I mean, you can't really say much more about it. Title on the line, high stakes. Moreno is now 3-0 against. I'm sorry, 0-3 against Pantoja. Anything you want to add?
Yeah, I want to add a lot to this. I'm not gonna lie. I sat here and I went through so many different fights because I didn't want to pick this one.
Quack, you were all gonna pick it.
Yeah, I knew you was gonna pick it, and I was always trolling you because I'm like, all right, I know you're gonna pick this fight. And I went through all the fights that I can pick, and it's like when I came down to it, I'm like, damn, I got no choice. I got to pick this fight because this was, it was only justice. You know what I'm saying? Like the MMA guys, you got to pick this fight. Jamal Hill versus Glover was on there. But I had to pick this one, man. I thought that Pantoja was done in this fight about 2 to 3 times.
Yeah, about 3, I say, in my opinion.
And every time he came back, and he got this way about him to where he's looking like he's finished and he's out of the fight, and somehow he just like pulled like the rabbit out of his ass and he come back, and he was getting takedowns, and it really, really, really showed that he really wanted that, and it showed his heart and will.
Also for this, you could have picked the fight on the last card of the year, Irene Aldana versus
Yeah,
Hossa.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Each other, and you also could have. I considered the Ultimate Fighter finale.
Yeah,
that was a pretty good fight too. But this is the fight that stands out the most, and it was a hell of a war, man. It was a hell of a war. I might watch that tonight.
Yeah, it was a good one. All right, so up next, Submission of the year. This award recognizes the most skillfully executed grappling technique displayed in a submission victory, showcasing unmatched mastery of ground-based MMA. I believe this one is on me. For me, I got my boy, good old Davy Grant versus Rafael Sunsao with an inverted triangle. I mean,
Hey,
listen. Let's go. Let's go. I knew you. Yeah. Hey. Yeah.
oh boy,
Yeah.
hey, you dug deep for that one. I like that. I like
Exactly, because I knew this was slept on, and this went under notice because I believe this was at the Apex too, if I'm not mistaken. But I mean, listen, before this sequence happened, Davey Grant caught Rafael Sunside with a spinning back fist, and it dropped him. And then by the scramble, they was able to get the position or whatever. He got him in the inverted triangle, and the best thing about it was he was completely out when this was over. He was completely out, just limp. You know what I mean?
He retired him, didn't he?
Yes, he retired him. So this was very, very significant, and I feel like the MMA community has slept on this fight and has slept on this submission. Give my boy Davey Grant his props because this was insane, this was sick, and this was nasty.
Well, I can't really argue with that, except for I give you your props for that one. But my submission of the year, coming back at you, Damon Black Jose Johnson.
That's nice. That's nice.
Just before we speak on this, just
look at the picture.
Just
look at that. Look at that.
Look at how his spine, like you damn near can see like his spine is in his chest. The way he contorting and like, oh.
Hey, I just want to say one thing. When I was doing jiu-jitsu, I didn't think that this submission will actually work, so I had somebody to put me in it. And listen, let me tell you, this submission hurts because you're literally twisting your spine. You know what I'm saying? And
like a pretzel.
Yes, it hurts.
Hey, so just based off the pictures, everybody know I picked the better one.
Nah.
I definitely dug deep for this one. This is also another one. I like how we both think though. Like this is one that was slept on the most too.
Yeah, I respect it. I respect it, bro. I respect it.
And the way he set it up, like he had him in full mount on ground and pound, and then Outlaw 77, both good picks. The way he set it up, he had him on the ground. He was in full mount. He was grounding and pounding. And then Jose Johnson was putting his arm up to kind of like defend it. And then he kind of trapped his arm first. And then Jose Johnson tried to roll around and he kind of like slid off to the side and took his back and locked his leg up and then just started cranking on the twister. And DC was calling it. He was like, he looked like he's trying to set up a twister. He looked like he's trying to set up a twister. And then he pulled it off. The third twister in UFC history.
I know Chan Sung Jung got one against Leonard Garcia, and my boy, don't tell me Bryce Mitchell got one.
Yep. So I thought that was extremely significant. I know I'm late on this, but real quick, I want to say when we were talking about breakout fight of the year, I almost picked Johnny Eblin.
Yeah, that wouldn't be too bad.
But yeah, I feel like this is submission of the year though, definitely. And I feel like nobody really gonna give Blackshears props for this, but it was nasty. I just like just looking at it right now. Like,
hey, not to mention he fought a week later, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, man. So respect to that.
So our next category.
Hey, wait, before we move on, I thought you was gonna pick Grasso versus Shevchenko. That's what I thought you was gonna pick that one.
Why though?
Oh no, that's what most people pick as a consensus submission of the year.
Probably because it was for the title and it was kind of like an upset.
Yeah, the significance of it. All right.
I don't look at the significance of things. I just look at things for strip down all the extra stuff and just look at it for what it is. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how I try to go about making these picks. So our next category, is Knockout of the Year.
Ooh,
This award showcases a fighter's striking brilliance, resulting in a breathtaking and decisive finish that captivated audiences and solidified its place as a standout moment in MMA history. And what striking performance!
Oh my God! Here we go. Come on, bro. Bring it on. This does it, bro. Come on.
Decisive and captivating and brutal, and just finish him. Then Josh Emmett knocking out Bryce Mitchell, having him twitching on the ground.
Man. Come on.
What more brutal than that?
Are you done? Go ahead, get your whole little soliloquy out.
What you mean I'm not done? So wait a minute. Hey, you don't have to see any other fight, any other knockout this year, and you see this one and you know, okay, this is the one. Like you can not watch any other fight and you see this and you say, okay, this is the one. like you pick something different.
Hey, listen, y'all. I want y'all to know two things. Number one, my brother is doing this on purpose because he knows I love Bryce Mitchell.
I do too.
And also number two, bro, this is so much recency bias. This was literally the last card of the year. This is like the last, bro. This is the last knockout that you see of the year. So it's so much recency bias, bro.
He had a seizure.
It's recency bias. No,
it don't matter.
Yeah, it does. Listen, no. All right, listen.
Wait a minute. Hey, so you've seen a knockout more brutal than this?
I've seen a knockout a little bit more devastating and more significant.
What's more devastating than a man on the ground having a seizure, dog?
Bro, can we move on to
the car up, like.
Let's go. Let's see what
that KO was sick. Like that's the type of shit right there that some people see that KO and be like, I can't watch this sport. You get what I'm saying?
All right, let's go. Let's see what I got.
Wait a minute. Like, you don't agree with me?
Let's go. Adesanya KO was put out at UFC 287. Hey, if you look at the image, just look at the way Pereira is laying on the ground.
You mean like Bryce Mitchell was? Did he tweet?
Wait. If you factor in the history and the significance, and then the celebration afterwards when he did the bow and arrow, and then he went
ornaments on the knockout.
And then he went and then he looked at his son and then played dead to his son. You just sent me the Instagram video of Adesanya explaining that knockout. You know as a matter of fact, you was there. You was there. So, bro, that's very disrespectful to the MMA guys and the MMA community for you to not even acknowledge this KO of the year.
I mean, I'm just looking at brutality. You feel me? I'm looking at the knockout. I'm not looking at the story behind the knockout.
So
I'm not looking at the celebration after the knockout.
So let me ask you a question. So is all knockout of the year is the most brutal knockout? Is that all it is?
I feel like it's the knockout of the year, like not the story behind the knockout of the year. I feel like it's just the knockout, not the knockout then celebration. It's the knockout.
Oh, I forgot to mention this was for a title too.
Yeah, it was. And you know, I feel like a lot of people would pick that, but I mean, for the same reason. You know what?
I feel like most people would pick the Bryce Mitchell knockout or the Josh Emmett knockout, I should say.
But I feel like I guess it depends on your criteria. Because see, me, I don't look at like the significance of like. I'm looking at it like if I can find the sickest knockout to show somebody who don't watch the sport. So if you don't watch the sport, you won't care about the history behind it. You feel me? So if I could just show somebody the sickest knockout, I'm going to show them the one that I picked. If I'm going to show somebody like, hey, look at this cool celebration and look at the storyline or whatever, I'll show them this one. You feel me? And yeah, I was there. And I feel like considering the fact that I was there and I didn't pick it, it kind of says something. You get what I'm saying?
No, because
don't get me wrong. In the building, like the buzz and how it was electrifying, and then the way the sequence leading up to this knockout, Adesanya was up against the cage looking like he was about to get finished again. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what
he caught him with two counter right hooks and dropped him.
That's also what I was going to say too. Which outcome was more unexpected? In my opinion, it was this one right here
Yeah, it
because
was more unexpected.
you yourself, big bro, you picked Emmett to thrash Josh Emmett, and no to thrash Bryce Mitchell,
Yeah,
and
I
you and
knew he was
wait
gonna knock him out.
and yeah, exactly. You picked him to knock him out. You know what I'm saying? So you called it. I didn't see I didn't see it coming, but at the same time, I usually I pick it with my heart a lot,
Yeah,
and I was very biased with that one, but I didn't see Adesanya flatlining Padel like that. Who also, not to mention, most people pick Padel as fighter of the year. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
you're absolutely right.
Bro, nobody has done this to Poet Time.
You did, huh? You picked him as fighter of the year.
Nope.
Yeah, you
Not
did.
me. No,
Yeah,
I didn't. No, I didn't. Bro,
yeah.
this is the current UFC undisputed light heavyweight champion of the world. Yeah, this is on the ground like that still. You
Getting
know what I'm
knocked
saying?
out by middleweight at middleweight.
Oh, he gonna end up going to heavyweight too. Padel, apparently.
I don't
But
know.
that's a whole another story. We'll get to
Yeah,
that
yeah,
another
yeah.
time. All right, let's move on to the next slide.
Big and Black, Outlaw 77. I know you saw both knockouts. I'm just saying.
Bro, it's so much recency bias, bro. I knew you was gonna do this. All right, let me get this one. Let me get this one. Let me get this one. Female fighter of the year. The fighter that displayed unmatched skill, resilience, and dominance in the octagon, captivating audiences with a series of spectacular performances throughout the year.
Everybody knows who you picked. So
this is obvious, and this is a consensus. Lupi Godinez, obviously. You know what I'm saying? Listen, she's the first and only female fighter to get 4 consecutive wins in a calendar year. All right, you know what I'm saying? Nobody else has done that.
Over who?
Cynthia Calvillo, Emily Ducati, Elise Reed, and Tabitha Ricci. 2 out of the 4, I would say, is legit contenders. Tabitha Ricci, she wasn't expected to win that fight. Cynthia Calvillo, she definitely wasn't expected to win that fight. She beat both of those plus 2 more women in this year.
That's impressive.
Very impressive. Very impressive. She could also be the breakout fighter of the year, but I didn't want to, you know what I'm saying, do too much. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't want to do too much, but hey, listen, this is obvious. This is a consensus. There should be no argument here. This is a very solid pick, and you have nothing more to say about it.
Hey, she fought Emily Ducote and Elise Reed, or just Emily Ducote?
Both Emily Ducote
and
Elise Reed.
The Elise Reed fight was a funeral, dog.
Yeah,
that was insane.
Yeah,
like, definitely on a hot streak. I mean, I knew you was gonna go this way, so I mean, I don't really know what to say, except for tell everybody who was a better pick.
Bro, you can't argue with this pick.
Hey,
the only reason you want to argue is because you're just trying to do it just to spite me. That's it.
Nah, I just feel like you picked her because it's her. Like
yeah, because it's her. Exactly. Like she's the best. Not the best female fighter, but as far as female fighter of this year, it got to be her. Who else can you pick? Let me see who you got.
Well, my female fighter of the year is none other than Erin Blanchfield.
Yeah.
What you mean? I mean, come on now. Like,
no,
she's destroyed everybody she got in the octagon, with the exception of former title challenger Talia Santos. That was a good fight, but I feel like she's shown that she's had, like, at first she was blowing through people. Molly McCann took her arm off, took it home with her. Jessica Andrade choked her out, but she held her own on the feet too, showing that she is not just a submission specialist. Then who else was it? When she fought Talia Santos, that wasn't going her way, and she turned it around and ended up getting the win. She showed that she could make adjustments. So I feel like throughout the year, she's shown that the hype is real. She's shown that everybody already knew the ground game was there, but then she also displayed that she has a chin, and then she also displayed that she can make adjustments in a fight against a bigger, stronger fighter, and lose a round and a half or two, and come back and just pull it out with just grit and determination. You get what I'm saying? Without a doubt, I feel like she's definitely a future champion. I don't know if I can say the same about Loopy, but I mean, I can't say that she won't be. But I definitely feel like the reason why I put her as fighter of the year is because she has positioned herself from top 15 to definitely top 3 in the division. So, I mean, I feel like she positioned herself for a title shot. She's actually fighting Manny Fiorot next, and the winner of that will fight the winner of Grasso versus Shevchenko. So I feel like to come from the unranked all the way up to in line for a title shot made her fighter of the year, in my opinion.
Bro, listen, number one, I'm going to take away one of those victories because that was in last year. Andrade was last year. We're only specifically talking about this year. You can't talk about what it.
Andrade was this year. You got to remember, Andrade fought 5 or 6 times this year. That was definitely this year.
I mean, my bad. Meatball, McCann. That was last year when she took the arm.
That was this year in London, wasn't it?
November 12th in London. So that was the end of last year. So, so she got 2 victories this year. My girl got 4 victories this year, and my girl has also
better competition.
Okay, but you also have to put in Tabitha Ricci and Cynthia Calvillo.
Yeah, but Talia Santos, former title challenger.
Bro, all right, listen, the Talia Santos fight,
former champion. And on top of that, she positioned herself to be in contention for the title.
Bro,
has positioned herself to be a contender. You feel me? I'm not like you get
okay, but listen, that Talia Santos fight, that Talia Santos fight was arguably a decision. It wasn't like a clear, like she dominated the fight. All 4 victories.
She came back and won.
All 4 victories of Lupi Godinez, she basically thrashed. You know what I'm saying? There's no way it can't be Lupi with this one. Outlaw 77 said I'll go with Lupi for this year, and he also said Blanchfield.
Thinking Black said Blanchfield. I think Outlaw 77 and Thinking Black should argue about it.
Yeah. Bro, this is very egregious for you to pick Erin Black. She only got 2 fights this year.
Look at who she beat though.
She arguably beat Santos. That wasn't even she almost, but she got done getting in the first round. The second round was a little bit more competitive, and then in the third round, she won the third round. But the first round, she was getting pieced up. And she got cut real bad, you know.
Yeah, that's why you gotta respect it. Nah. Who you think will win if they fought?
It's not about that. It's about this year. We specifically talking about. It's not about who. It's not the female best fighter award. It's the female fighter of the year.
Too. We're specifically talking about knockouts.
Yeah,
too.
We're talking about female fighter of the year.
And, you know this guy said this to this guy, and he celebrated like this. And
the significance, though, man, you can't argue against significance. Significance is very important.
It's significant that she's finna fight for a belt, but
it's not guaranteed she's gonna fight for a belt because she got to beat Marion Ferrell, and that's not easy for her.
I digress.
All right, let's go.
The next category is male fighter of the year. The fighter that displayed unmatched skill, resilience, and dominance in the octagon, captivating audiences with a series of spectacular performances throughout the year. And my male fighter of the year is Poatan. Alex Pereira. Reason why, as you saw, they said resilience. For him to get knocked out in April at middleweight, come back and win a stylistic nightmare for him against Jan Blachowicz, former light heavyweight champ. And then after that, come and take on Yuri Prochazka, former light heavyweight champ, and get the light heavyweight belt. I feel like he's the fighter of the year.
You know, bro, I'm actually glad you got mentioned fighter of the year because that add more validation to my KO of the year. So I really appreciate that.
It don't change the way the KO looked or how brutal it was.
No, but it changes the effect of it though, because my KO of the year is against your male fighter of the year, so that adds a lot of significance to it.
It wasn't as brutal as my KO though, but I digress. Either way, Alex Pereira is definitely my fighter of the year. That was two tests that I was kind of iffy if he was gonna pass him, but he got a left hand from hell. Leg kicks are just fluid, and you don't see them coming. Like, they don't come from the hip. He just snap them. And he's just a monster, man. And I feel like he may hold on to that light heavyweight belt for a while.
Bro, it's official. He has the best walkout in UFC.
Yeah, he do.
It's official.
Best leg kicks probably too. Other than Gaethje don't really use his like that no more.
Nah. Yeah, I would say so too. But I can't argue with that. That's actually a good pick. I'm a huge fan of Poetine. Like you said, he was currently the middleweight champion. He lost the belt, and he was resilient enough to come back. He beat Jan.
So he held another thing too that was big for me. I'm sorry for cutting you off, but he held 2 belts in 2 different weight classes within the calendar year.
Yeah. Yeah, but for him to be able to KO Yuri like that, I mean, I can't argue. You feel me? But yeah. I will say I have a better one though. Okay, because for me, my male fighter of the year is none other than your boy Sean Strickland. Let's go.
That's a good pick.
Yeah, because for me, as far as I was looking at this, as far as who at the beginning of the year stock was down, and by the end of this year elevated the most. Like, who had the biggest gap in between that? You know what I mean? Yeah. For me, it's Sean Strickland, because you got to think, he came off a loss coming off the beginning of this year. He was coming off the loss to Poetine last year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he lost 2 in a row.
Yeah. Your male fighter of the year KO'd my guy. You know what I mean? And like you said before that, he lost to Cannonier. So he was coming off with 2 straight losses, and people was kind of labeling him as that boring fighter, or he just pity pat boxing, blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? The weird guy, the weird quirky guy, But then when he was able to get that title fight in Australia against Izzy, everybody wrote him off. You know what I mean? Even I did. You have more faith in him than I did. I'll give you credit for that. But I didn't.
The Bustam Magomedov fight too. He showed a lot of resilience.
Yeah.
The apple just came.
Yeah. Forgive me for missing that fight. But before he even got to the title fight against Izzy, he fought him, and he was a little Russian guy who everybody thought was the next big thing or whatever. And to Sean Strickland's credit, he TKO'd him, and nobody's seen that coming. That was a big upset, And then he followed that up with getting the title shot against Izzy and getting a decision win and claiming the belt. So he's definitely, his stock rose the most, in my opinion, out of all the male fighters of this year.
That's why you could have arguably said he was also Breakout.
Yeah, most definitely.
I think that's all the categories. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it is. Actually, you have some pretty decent picks. I would definitely argue against the Aaron Blanchfield pick and your KO of the year and female fighter of the year. I thought both of those are very egregious, and I didn't like them.
Hey, how can you say that KO is egregious?
No. The KO not egregious, but the fact that you got it as KO of the year, I think that's a lot of recency bias, And I knew you was going to pick that one.
Okay, so if you had to pick another KO, then, and you knew I was going to pick that one because when it happened, I said that's KO of the year. Yeah. That's KO of the year.
That was number 2. That was number 2.
Okay, so you can't say it's egregious then.
No, but it's a big gap though. You know what I'm saying? It's a big gap.
Oh boy, you funny. I respect your submission. You dug deep into the bag for that one. You went into the archives and found that submission. That was pretty nice. I like that.
Yeah. We both had UFC 295. That was actually pretty cool. I was surprised. I guess not that surprised, but it just shows, man, that card was pretty solid,
Yeah.
We both had upset of the year as Adesanya losing to Strickland. I thought you was going to pick Grosso for that one.
And we both had fight of the year too.
Yeah, I couldn't argue against that one. I couldn't argue. But overall, man, I really enjoyed it. And final award.
Cleveland say final award, best vocab of the night, Bones with soliloquy.
Yeah.
So what we got coming up? We got UFC 297.
On January 13th, we got Uncle Liar versus Johnny Walker. I believe that's next, and then we got 297.
297 is January 20th. So we'll be doing our preview show January 19th and a review show January 21st.
Just real quick, I'm gonna just read off the fight card for UFC 297. Just real quick. In the main event, I'm gonna start off from the main card. You got Charles Jourdain versus Sean Woodson. That should be pretty good. You got Chris Curtis versus Marc-Andre Barriault,
the Powerball versus the Action Man.
Brad Katona versus Garrett Armfield. Arnold Allen versus Movsar Evloev.
Ooh, my boy, all in.
Neil Magny versus Mike Malott. Raquel Pennington versus Mario Bueno Silva.
For the 135 vacant championship that Amanda Nunes left vacant.
I hope Bueno Silva absolutely destroys her. Then in the main event, you got my boy, the male fighter of the year, Sean Strickland, and also upset of the year, Sean Strickland versus Dricus du Plessis. So that should be pretty good.
Yeah, they actually fought in the audience at the last pay-per-view.
Yeah.
So this would be
part two.
Strickland versus du Plessis too.
Hey, they should label it as that too. That'd be pretty funny.
I don't know. Other than that, we gonna try to get together and bring y'all content more frequently this year.
Real quick, I got a fight announcement. Just announced about 3 hours ago. Francis Ngannou versus Anthony Joshua in the 10-round heavyweight fight in Saudi Arabia, of course, because they got all the money.
Speaking of fight announcements, there's been a lot of those going on. You got Bo Nickel versus Cody Brundage. You got Sean Strickland versus du Plessis. We already know that. You got Michael Venom Page recently signed to the UFC from Bellator, long overdue, versus Kevin Holland. You got my female fighter of the year, Aaron Blanchfield versus Manon Fiorot. You got one half of the fight of the year, Brandon Moreno versus Amir Albazi.
Bro, I hope Brandon Moreno absolutely destroys Albazi.
He will.
All right. MVP in UFC, yeah.
Yep, MVP is in the UFC. Yep, and he fighting. That's actually the Miami card. He'll be going up against Kevin Holland. That's a pretty good matchup that they put together. Looking forward to seeing it. Rumors for UFC 300 are saying that Bilal Muhammad will finally get his title shot versus
Leon Edwards.
We also got I can't remember. There's so many fights that have been announced.
Yeah, UFC 300 going like it's gonna be a banger, man.
Yeah. You got Ian Gary versus Jeff Neal.
Yeah, that should be I think it's a conspiracy. I'm not gonna say it on there, but behind Ian Gary's last fight being canceled.
No, I think he legit had pneumonia from what they say.
Yuri Prohaska versus Alexander Rakic for UFC 300. Calvin Kattar versus Aljo moving up. Let's go, Aljo.
Yeah, Aljamain moving up to the 135 division. It's rumors too. It's just a rumor that Justin Gaethje will be facing Max Holloway for the BMF.
Also, rumor is Tommy Aspinall versus Alex Pereira.
Yeah, I heard that.
Also, rumor. I mean, this is just rumors, so don't quote us here. is a Lesnar and Rousey return, but I don't think that's
Not gonna happen.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
Put a campfire on my face and watch either one of them.
Hey, with that, man, I really enjoyed the show. I can't wait to do it again at the end of the year.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. Can I ask you, give me 3 predictions for next year?
Ilya Taporo will be the champion of the featherweight division.
Taporo versus Alexander Volkanovski.
Yeah, he's gonna be the champion. Lupi Godinez will be in the top 5 by the end of the year because she's gonna get 2 more fights up under her belt and win. And I would say Tatiana Suarez will get a belt.
Okay, and I'm gonna piggyback off you. My 3: Suarez will get a belt. Chimaev will get a belt.
Nope.
And by the end of the year, I will say that Aaron Blanchfield will fight for the belt.
All right.
That's pretty much that. I don't know if it's a Dolphin deep dive this week, but Man Talk Monday will be returning on Monday.
Can't wait.
Can't wait for that. It's always a good time with Man Talk Monday. A lot of times I can't listen to them live, but I always go back and listen. And then I regret not listening to it live because it'd be things I want to comment on, but it's too late. So I think that is the flagship show of Straight Talk with Trevor. Something on here every day of the week, something for everybody. Please hit the like button, subscribe, and unless there's something else, anything else?
Let's go, Bucks!
Well, I see these guys don't remember what the EVP says.
The EVP.
Me. So before we close out the show, I did want to say this. Fantastic show. I don't know if you guys saw the private chat. I said don't close the show until I come up because I
didn't see it.
But fantastic show. I would almost, and I'm pretty sure the audience would agree with me, lean to you guys using more slideshow presentations because it just helps move the story along a lot better. But we'll get to that at a different point. But what I did want to say was this. This was officially the first show that we ever did live on this channel. The first show that ever went live on the Straight Talk with Trevor channel was the UFC show. They came to me and they said, hey, wouldn't it be great if we were thinking, what if we did a UFC show? And me being the king of content, I was like, you know what? Let's try it. Let's see what it does. So we did the John Jones and Cyril Gahn show. Actually, that show was right before my birthday because my birthday was March 7th. That show was March 3rd. So we did that show. That was the first official live ever on this channel. The first thing to ever go live on this channel was with these two gentlemen here. And from then to now, the improvement that I've seen in YouTube is like leap years, like miles. Because if you guys go back and listen to that first show and then listen to this one, you'll be like, ugh. It's like every now and then I go listen to my old my old podcast, like the first ones, and I'm like, oh my God, that was terrible. How the hell? Why didn't I give up? Why didn't I do that? Because it was awful, but it was just about finding your footing. So I did want to tell you guys that you guys this year, 2023, have put on tremendous content. Some of the shows that you guys did got like tops numbers of anything we ever did on the show. I mean, I know it was fight specific, but you still can't you still can't deny the analytics. You guys do a popular show. It was never my intention to keep doing this. It was always like, okay, we're gonna do it. Either they're gonna get tired of it, or I'm just gonna say I don't want to do this anymore. And then when I made the decision to turn it completely over to you guys You guys made it your own. And I appreciate that because you're adding content to the channel, and it gives you it's just like everything that I try to do over here with the Straight Talk Society is I like to give people a voice that's not going to get it elsewhere. So it's like you guys get a chance to get all your MMA knowledge out. Your friends come in and they comment and all that good stuff, and it's a win-win for everybody. So I do want to say that you guys did a tremendous job this year. I am definitely looking forward to what 2024 has in store. We definitely got to get together as to when we're going to do this weekly MMA show, because I think that's a necessity. Just
it's time.
Yeah, because you go a month between shows, and then it's just like, oh God, I got to try to pack everything in. Like tonight, you mentioned Ngannou fighting again. That could have been done on a MMA show. I mean, on a weekly show.
Right.
You could knock out all the little stories, all the new fight announcements that you guys had. You guys are talking about UFC 300. We still got to get through 297. So all that stuff could be on a weekly MMA show. But I know, all this stuff takes time. I'm trying to revamp the channel just, to clean a lot of things up time-wise. So I did just want to come on and tell you guys, though, because I believe you always give a man their flowers, in public. Let people know how you feel the job that they're doing. And I think ever since you guys took over this show, it's been light years better than anything that the three of us were doing. Because this is your guys' lane. It is. And me listening to you guys tonight, it made me proud. Like I'm ready to go to sleep. That's why I sound like this. But I'm sitting here and I'm like, man, they finally found it. Like they finally found it. Like they finally found that voice, because that's what I've been waiting for this whole time. Everybody that does a show on this channel, I'm always listening for the time when they find their voice, because I know it took me a long time to do it in podcasting, where I finally was able to get that voice, and that's him. And I think you guys got it. This show is really good. I mean, and I listen to a lot of the big dogs, and and they aren't doing what you guys are doing with the passion, because it's literally like with them, they're just reading off of a paper, whereas you guys are breaking down fights. You're giving all the good info, and you're very passionate about it because you love it. It's just like on the wrestling show, you could tell that we love it when we're talking about it. It's not just we're reading stats. It's something that we love and that we're passionate about. And I feel that in this show. So I just wanted to tell you guys, I think you're doing a fantastic job, man. I love the dynamic between you two. And you guys aren't cutting each other off as much. See, it's always baby steps, because in the beginning, I'm like, oh my God, they cut each other off too much. It's never going to work.
I think that's mostly me. I got a bad habit of doing that.
But you guys are finding your voice. Like it's all about just the chemistry that you build up with one another, and the timing that you have with each other. And the thing is too, that you guys don't have your cameras on, so it's easy for me on Man Talk Monday, because the main person that's probably going to cut anybody off would be Mike, and I could look at him and see him, so I know when he's gonna do anything. So that's that. So I do commend you guys with that too. Doing this show behind the avatars, and still being able to have that dynamic with one another. So I think that's all I got, man. So now you're telling me we got a show January 19th. All right, so I got to get working on that. See, my job is never done.
Hey, I also want to say too, for this year, I'm going to get more organized, like how I do with the pool, and we're going to do our picks against each other, bro. And we're going to figure out at the end of the year like what the punishment is for each other. We'll work on that later. But
yeah, because once I blew you out the water, you stop counting. I know.
My picks are very fluid, but I'm going to get a chart set up, and maybe we can share the document so everybody can see what the chart is, and keep up with our stats throughout the year, and so that the whole world can see how I slaughter you.
All you got to do,
man. I appreciate it.
All you guys got to do is just get with Nene, man, and she'll show you how to work Canva. That's how I do all these slideshow presentations and stuff. Anything you want to do, you could do it in there. and you could just do a constant slide. It's just like when I do the wrestling show, how I have the ratings every week. It's just a document in Canva that we use, and I just populate it every week. So once you get it one time, you got it. It's perfect.
Yeah, I want to say I appreciate the opportunity as well. Gave me somewhere to come get all this MMA talk off my chest. I feel like it's just like when you watch a good game and you go to work the next day, everybody be talking about it. But then it's like when you see the fights and you go to work the next day, it's like ain't nobody else watch it. So
yeah, because usually after a fight, we talk about these fights anyway. So what we're doing on air is what we do on the phone, basically. You know what I'm saying? Yes, so it's really no different, you know.
And there was one more thing I had to say. Oh, we got to get Thinking Black on here. I don't know he got to break out of that not wanting to be on live thing. But yeah, I really think we got to get the weekly MMA show going. And also what I want to do with the wrestling show is because it's, we tried to put together a top 9 list, and it was hard to try to rack your mind and remember everything. So I want me and Venkat and MD to start keeping track of all these things. Like if something is a banger, we need to just go ahead and put it on the list from now, just so during the year we'll have a reference point.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too.
Great idea. That's a great idea.
Yeah, because man, when it sounds good when you're like, oh man, like Gunther was the easiest pick for me because I've been saying Gunther was my wrestler of the year for the entire year, so that wasn't going to change. But when you had to sit there and think about everything else, I'm like, oh man, what? I can't remember this. Now I got to go back and watch this. So,
hey, two things. Prince Nana was a very easy pick. Y'all stop hating on that. And number 2, Trevor, you realize AEW won most of the categories, right?
Yeah, I said that in the show. I was like, this is a very AEW centric list. But unfortunately, winning the categories don't put asses in seats.
Oh, here you go. Bro, that's the constant, as an AEW mark myself, that's the constant little knock I get. Oh, y'all not selling tickets. Oh, y'all got an empty arena. I got you.
Hey, Trevor, without even seeing the other knockout, how can this guy argue with me about that knockout?
Yeah, see, so I saw that Bryce Mitchell knockout, and I was texting you like, man, that's the most sickest thing I ever seen in my life. And I'm like, he's having a seizure and everything. But just looking at your picks, though, Zay, a lot of it I feel was recency bias, though. Because a lot of your picks came from stuff that we just talked about. Because I'm like, oh, I remember that.
Told you.
No comment, I guess.
Hey, but it is what it is, man. Fantastic show, fellas. I'm gonna get back out here because I'm ready to go to bed. So y'all go ahead and lock it down. I will be in the back.
All right.
I guess that's it. Signing off. Hit the like, subscribe. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you soon.
All right, and let's go Bucks, man. We in the playoff hunt.
I need the Jags to fumble the bag against the Titans. And then after that, I won't need anything else, and I'm gonna just leave it at that.
All right, hey, I know exactly what you. Trevor got a Dolphin flag in the back. Yeah, hey, Thinking Black say fire episode, Happy New Year, and Outlaw 77 said great show, fellas. I appreciate it. This was a great start to the new year. Lupe Godinez is the consensus female fighter of the year. The Adesanya KO was the KO of the year, and that's all I got to say. Let's go Bucks.
All right, peace.
Peace.
If you want to be the best, you got to beat the best, and the best is blessed, baby.
All right, gentlemen, we've been over the rules. Protect yourself at all times. Follow my instructions. Keep it clean. Touch gloves if you wish. Let's do it.
hosted by Zay and Bonez, the MMA Brothers.